Hello, thank you for joining me at Fitness on Wheels TV. I'm Trisha, and we deliver the most practical yet powerful wellness tips for crazy busy schedules and busy professionals and busy working parents. Are you a solopreneur, an entrepreneur? Do you wear a lot of hats? Do you have meetings all the time on the road, or are you a contractor, or are you chugga, trains, planes, and automobiles 25 to 50% of the time, or even more? And if you fall in any of these categories, do you sometimes ask yourself if wellness and a successful career are actually an oxymoron? Well, studies show that some of the most successful people actually attest their wellness to being so successful. So it's definitely worth making the effort to have wellness in your life. You know, the key is to the roadblocks. When you're a roadster and you're in meetings all the time and you wear a lot of hats, what are your roadblocks going to be? We're going to talk about roadblocks today, and I'm going to give you 4 tips. Have a fiesta with yourself every week on Saturday or Sunday. The first one is that every week around Saturday or say Sunday, over a cup of coffee or maybe a nice green healthy juice, you want to just sit down. Don't make it monumental. It doesn't have to be a long drawn out thing, but for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, max 20 minutes, just make a little plan for yourself. Look at your calendar. What do you foresee being some of the biggest roadblocks for yourself this week? Are you going to be in lots of meetings surrounded by buffet food? Are you going to be eating out a lot? Do you plan for it to be a super stressful week for some reason? Well, what you want to do is write down what that roadblock is, and then what the potential detour is going to be for yourself. How are you going to handle it so that you don't sabotage your wellness quest? The other thing you want to do at this time is make your shop and shop list so you can BYOF. That's right, bring your own food. So what can you go out and get before the weekend is through that you can bring on the road with you? Maybe it's some meals, maybe it is some snacks. Please scroll below, and I'm going to share some more detailed ideas for you as to stuff that you can bring with you to help plan your week accordingly. The other thing that I hear from people constantly is that they just, when they're on the road, they love to graze. And you know what? Grazing isn't a bad thing. Does it sound familiar? Grazing is okay? Instead of having some full blown out meal and feeling lethargic and loss of memory and loss of focus when you're in a meeting, you're better off just grazing a little bit. It's actually going to do you good for your meeting. The other thing too that people complain about all the time is sometimes that they, you know, as much planning as they do leave the house without anything. Sometimes you have a crazy morning and you just have no food with you. So your new fast food, your new convenience store is the grocery store. Again, scroll below. I'm going to give you some ideas as far as what you can grab and go from the grocery store. But you get to get out of your car, you get to make a pit stop, you get to stretch out your legs and get the blood flowing a little bit, and then grab foods that you actually do want to eat instead of those traditional fast food chain type of foods that are going to leave you feeling lethargic and yucky anyway. All right? And then finally, you know, when you're traveling a lot, when you wear a lot of hats, it is stressful. If you're running a business, if you're in sales, it's just stressful and taxing on you. And at the end of the day, people say, Trisha, I just want to go home and have a nice comfort meal. Well, that's fine too. I'm going to give you 3 tips for this one. First is, can you pack your gym bag and hit the gym, even if it's really quick, for 20 minutes, and just bust out some cardio or do some weightlifting or attend a class that you really love before you actually go home to relieve that stress. And then if you want to still go home and have some crazy comfort meal, go for it. The other thing you can do is crock pot. There are thousands of crock pot meals out there so that you can come home to a meal already cooked for you, and there are thousands of alternatives, healthy alternatives to what we traditionally call comfort food. And I promise you they are super yummy. So you definitely want to check that out. The other thing too is you don't want to be in this state of stress and driving home and feeling this way when you're hungry. So make sure you have some snacks before you actually get in your house. Otherwise, you're going to just rage that kitchen and eat everything that first comes to sight, and then it's going to leave you feeling terrible. So you want to maybe have an apple or some almonds and some walnuts before you go home. Then you can get home, you can put on your slippers, put on your PJs, and then sit down and enjoy a nice meal for yourself, and the stress will just go down. So I hope these 4 tips have helped you today. I hope they help you with some of the roadblocks that you deal with. as always, I would love to hear from you. So please shoot me an email or just post on my Facebook fan page, Fitness on Wheels fan page. We'd love to see your posts as far as how you apply these tips today. And make sure you go to www.fitnessonwheels.com and you're registered to receive our newsletter every single week. Thanks so much and see you next time.